What's up? I'm Conquest, a producer from North Carolina. I'm going to be showing you how I go about making some of my melodies from scratch and an easy way that you can go about starting to make your own melodies in FL Studio. I like to start off by finding chords, and I started in the key of G minor just because. And then I found these chords, just simple chords. I just skip every other note, and then I just pulled the middle note right here. I pulled that up an octave for most of these, and then just added just the bass lines of the root notes right here. And so these are just regular chords. I'll play it for you right here. Play it for you right now. Nothing too fancy. I just copied over the same exact pattern, and I only changed this note, the A sharp, into an A right here, just for some variation, so it doesn't get too boring. Really, the only thing I added to these simple like triad chords was the D and the A sharp and the D and the A here. And so I just started off with some chords, and I thought of a top line kind of popped in my head, and I wanted something that wasn't too overpowering, but still could carry the melody, carry the tune if it needed to, you know. So let me see here. All these sounds, all three sounds I use are from Steven Schaefer's Ember one-shot kit. He has a lot of sound kits and one-shot kits out. You should definitely go check that out. He's super talented. It's insane. I got the cold shoulder key and the cat bell. I have the bells and keys and the communicate synth. I have the synth folder here in the Ember one-shot kit, and it's crazy. But anyway, yeah, I chose the cat bell. Here's how it sounds. Nothing too fancy. I just created a simple 4-bar loop, copied it over, and then had one slight variation just to, keep the song progressive and moving forward, and doesn't get too boring to the listener's ear. I didn't want to go too crazy with it. One, because I'm not really capable of going too crazy with it. Two, because simple gives space for the artist, gives space for other producers to add melodies if they wanted to this. And so, I don't know, I just think it's very versatile if you keep it simple rather than go and just push it all into one specific lane. But yeah, just copied it over, variation, and that's it. I just picked the chords and found a top line here, and that's how these two sound together like this. Alright, and that's it for the chords in the top line. Next, I want to talk about layering and sound selection. So I had the chords and I had the top line, and then I went and copied both of those, the chord and the top line, into the communicate synth, because I thought it just had a brightness and to it that the other sounds didn't have, and that I wanted to be able to, provide in the loop, just in case someone wanted to, again, go that route, or they could filter it out or not use it if they want to. It just provides options for people having, covering all the bases, and providing that versatility. So this is what the synth sounds like by itself. sharpness and the high frequencies that the cold shoulder key and the cat bow just that they don't have, and that I want to provide. But the cat bow, I selected that sound specifically because of the way it just ends and fades with the twinkles and the space. I don't know. I don't even know like I like that little accent at the end. That little it provides like a texture, a color, a depth to it that other sounds didn't have when I was picking out sounds. And so when it comes to layering and sound selection, I would just make sure you don't have any sounds that are clashing. Like have I would say the easiest route when you're starting is to have a sound that fills out the low end of your melody. A sound fills out the mids, and a sound that you use as like your high end. Is a simple way to start out thinking about it, and then as you get more comfortable and as you go, you'll figure out how to mix and match the different elements and break different rules to create something that's more your own. And that's kind of the spot where I'm trying to go at now, trying to figure out something to make my own. And so that's just basically it for layering and sound selection. But here's all three of them together. Let me play it. I just think they work really well together for the kind of vibe I was going for and kind of how I felt when I was making the loop. So that's why I picked the sounds I picked. I think that's another key to sound selection, just kind of trusting yourself. Because, I mean, you listen to music, you know what you want to hear. So just make what you want to hear, select the sounds you like, and, I mean, you'll find the right audience and the right vibe soon enough, for sure. Okay, so now on to mixing and arrangement. So I have all of them dry, no effects right now. I'm gonna play you what it sounds like right here. Start with the cold shoulder key. So on that one, I just have a reverb and an EQ on it. Nothing too crazy. I just didn't like it. Let me activate it so you can see how it sounds. The harshness down. I felt made it more of something I could put in the background as opposed to just constantly attacking and hurting someone who's listening. Then the cat bell, that it was already pretty spacey, but I wanted to take up more width and space, so I added a reverb. Kept it at 100, still nothing insane. And then I have a halftime. I got it set at 1 bar and a 35% mix, just because I really liked. That is something I like to do with some of my more melodic elements, like my top lines. Just having a gross beat or a halftime or a filter or something like that, and taking effect and just like reducing the mix so it's still present, but it's more of a texture, a depth, and a layer than just overpowering the integrity of the sound. I think it just adds a lot to something, or it can, and so that's how this sounds without with the effects. I just like how it's wider. It's really what I was going for when I chose this sound. And then the communicate synth, I just have a reverb halftime again on it for the same reason as the cat bell, and a fruity parametric EQ just to take out lows and make the highs less harsh, and more subdued. And this is how this sounds without effects versus with, just less harsh. I feel like it's an easier listening experience. And then, so I have all that. And then on the master, I just have an RC20. And I went to the Too Bright preset and just started tweaking some stuff. Like I have a little bit of noise, a little bit of wobble, some distortion, good bit of distortion, and a little bit of space. I added some width, and changed the EQ from here to here just to cut off more of the highs in the overall track. And then to get rid of some lows and make space for other instruments, obviously. Yeah, nothing too crazy on the RC20. And then this is what it all sounds like with the RC20 enabled versus without. I like it better. It just suits my taste. And now onto arrangement. When I'm arranging my loops or melodies, I like to have, just a couple sections where I've kind of paired things together, paired sounds together in ways that I think they would be paired together. And then I include where all of them are together. Like that could be like a hook, a bridge, verses, But one important thing that I like to do is to make sure I stem out all of my sounds, because it makes it easier for someone to be like, if I sent this to another producer and they didn't like the communicate synth, how I laid it down, maybe they just want to take that out altogether and add their own thing. Or maybe they don't like the top line on the capo and they just want to take that out and add their own thing. Or they just don't like it altogether and they want to take it out, rearrange them, and put together their own combos. And I think stemming out is just a really useful thing. And another thing with that is to make sure I always go in and create automation clips from my volume, just so, because I tend to add a lot of reverb. I tend to add reverb and delay to some of my sounds, and a lot of sounds just have a lot of resonance, and a lot of tail end frequencies that can bleed into the other parts of your loop. So I just cut off the volume of whatever part is not playing, just to make sure I don't get any of that bleeding. All the parts of the track are clean and how I want them to sound. It just makes it cleaner. It takes like, I don't know, it takes like a minute, extra minute, and it really does make a difference in terms of like the professionalism of your loops, I feel like, and the sound and the quality. Everything doesn't get muddy as the loop goes on. Every part's usable, very cuttable, editable for anybody using them. And I think that's most important above anything. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Check out my Instagram and my Twitter at WYD_conquest. I'm hoping to bring you guys some more content and more videos and more tutorials soon. Make sure to check out my BeatStars page to see beats I'm posting on YouTube and just in general. Anyway, see y'all soon.